Welcome to Transformational Fighting Arts Online. I'm Sifu Marcus Lovemore. Today we're going to be going over fundamental punching, the hook. The reason I'm going to go over the hook and maybe not some of the other punches is because, in my belief, the hook is one of the misperceived punches of all the punches. It's the one everybody really screws up the most because what they keep doing is they keep throwing kind of a movie punch rather than an effective punch. So your hooks have to be tight and they have to generate a lot of power. And most people just don't do that. Most people throw very loopy, kind of long, kind of telegraphed hooks. And that will only get you punched if you know what you're doing, especially if you're fighting a very precision and seasoned martial artist. So I'm going to show you the punch and the technique that I think is the proper way to throw the hook. Because when you start throwing the hook, you see it's going to be a very effective punch. If not, it starts to kind of break down into kind of a brawling kind of concept. So the hook. If you haven't gone over some of my punching power concepts, I highly recommend you take a look at that video and even just go over the straight punch and generating power for your upper body, and then come back here and check this out. So what I want you to do is once again get into your Baizhang, and we're going to deal with the right hook or your front hook, depending on whether you're right-handed or left-handed. And if you want to know about that, go to the on guard stance video. So how most people throw the hook is they throw a loopy kind of long hook, right? You see it in MMA or the UFC all the time, or even in street fights. You see this kind of looping kind of hooking system. The problem is the bigger this arc is, the more time you have to be punched and the slower your punch becomes. So what I really want you to understand is that just like all of your punches, you want to try and contain all your punches within your shoulder width, right? And you want to take up this space, the space that all the targets are on. Anytime you start taking your punch from way back here to throw it, means you leave yourself open to be punched. So your punches shouldn't look big and loopy, and they shouldn't take a long time to hit their target. So one of the questions is, what if the target's far away and I need to hit it very far away? Well, you want to cut that distance with your footwork. How do you do that? Well, I highly recommend you go over the push shuffle footwork video, because it'll let you understand how to get from point A to point B. Okay? So we're just going to go over the mechanics of the hook. So you're in your proper Baizhang or your on guard stance. So the first misconception of the hook is that the hook is mostly arm movement. It is not. It is mostly hip movement. The hip initiates this punch. It flows into the shoulder and then it hooks through the hand. So the big issue is first understanding how that hip motion goes. Remember to go over my power generation, because just like all punches, it is that same motion of rotating your shoulders over. But until your shoulder rotates, you cannot start generating power onto this punch. Okay? So, in slow-mo, let's just identify the punch. You're in your Baizhang and you throw your punch and you make contact. So, the first thing I want to go over is the positioning of this punch. This punch should end at a right angle, okay? So what does that mean? It should end with almost a straight line going from your elbow to your other shoulder, right? And if you notice, there should be a right angle in your arm when you're done, right? Your arm never extends more than this right angle. So it never does that, right? Never goes beyond 90 degrees. It goes from here to there to hit that punch. The other thing is, it is the second biggest misconception. It is not a punch in that direction. It is not going like this, right? You're not hitting somebody in the side of the face. You're doing an oval through their face. So you want to make a circular punch. It's almost like if you had a butter turning system and you were holding it, or a grinder and you were grinding that with one hand. You see that grinding motion? Making a circle. You're going to make that circle through the opponent's head. So, circle. The other big misconception is you want to get your elbow up. You do not want to keep it down. If you keep your elbow down when you're throwing this punch, it becomes a bitch slap, and you have a chance of really injuring your elbow. So you got to get that elbow up when you're throwing it. So the punch goes like this. You pop your elbow as your hip is rotating, and then you open it up, and then you do the turning motion. So turn, right? From the side over here, turn, right? Turn. One more time. Bang, bang. Now here's the timing. As your arm turns that corner, that's when you turn over on your hip, okay? The big deal about generating power on the hook is keeping your elbow behind your shoulder. Watch my shoulder and watch my elbow. See that? My elbow is always behind my shoulder because where my power is goes through my shoulder. That's where my target is. That's where I generate the power. If my elbow moves beyond my shoulder line, you're going to express your power too early and you're not going to hit very hard. So, power, power, boom, right? Power, see how the shoulder's first? And the elbow stays behind the shoulder. Remember to keep your hook at face level or wherever you're punching to take up that line. Secondly, it recovers just by turning backwards and dropping the elbow down. All the motion that's in this arm is this. That's all I want you to do with the arm. The rest of it's hip, right? See that? That's all you have to do to throw the hook. The big issue is staying within this box, because if you start exiting that box, you're not taking up this line of attack, and it means things can come down the center. You see how I'm open up to hitting my center? Right? When I open up these large hooks, means things can go down the center. If I'm throwing it here, it's very compact, not enough time to counter this hook. If you're wondering how the hell am I going to get to the target, because you're punching in such a short distance, most people think you can only throw this hook within, let's say, 6 inches. That is very true. What you do is you use your footwork to gain the distance and let your hook generate the power, okay? Footwork gains the distance. Do you get that? So do not reach for these things. If you're reaching, you're going to get hit. So if you have any questions, all you got to do is go to Transformational Fighting Arts online and subscribe for free, because you can get all of these videos emailed to you for free. Also, any kind of comment, I'd love to see that. I answer them all, so please let me know what you think. And remember, all these free videos are only free through your donating. So check out the donation button. I'm Sifu Marcus Lovemore. This is Transformational Fighting Arts online. Remember, it's not about knowing it, it's about living it. Thanks.